Welcome to the deep dive. We're looking at some documents you sent over, and today we're really diving into the evolution of sustainable design, specifically in the furniture world.
Yeah, our mission really is to understand how this whole idea of sustainable furniture has changed, how it went from, simpler ideas to something, well, much bigger.
Definitely. And the source material you've got there really maps it out quite well. It's almost like a history of how the industry's thinking on this has developed.
Okay, so let's unpack that history then. According to these documents, how did it all sort of kick off? How did we get to where things stand now?
Well, the material suggests it began with what you could call basic environmental considerations. Think early efforts, maybe focusing on just the materials themselves.
Like using recycled wood or maybe avoiding certain finishes, that kind of thing?
Exactly. Using recycled content, steering clear of maybe the most obviously toxic stuff. Necessary first steps, definitely, but maybe a bit fragmented. Right, not quite seeing the forest for the trees yet, maybe. And the documents make a point that it didn't stop there, did it? It grew significantly from those basics into something they call a comprehensive systemic model.
Precisely. The shift wasn't just, oh, let's swap this material for that one. Systemic means thinking bigger, looking at um, energy used in making the furniture, the impacts of the supply chain, how long the piece lasts, even packaging started coming into it.
Hmm. Okay, so looking at more points along that old straight line, make, use, dispose.
Yeah, sort of broadening the view within that linear process.
Got it. And then the sources you shared point to another step, right?
Hmm.
The current frontier, which they identify as circular design.
That's the one. And what I found really interesting in the source material is how it's framed. It's not just presented as the next new thing, but as a, quote, synthesis and evolution of prior sustainability strategies.
Okay, synthesis and evolution. So it pulls from those earlier ideas, the basic and the systemic.
Yeah, it builds on them, incorporates them, but then crucially pushes beyond just making that linear model slightly less bad.
How so? What's the core difference then, according to the documents?
Well, circular design is described as offering a more holistic, strategic vision. Instead of optimizing a flawed system destined for landfill, the idea is to design the product right from the very start, thinking about its entire life.
The whole life cycle.
Exactly. How it's used, sure, but also how it can be repaired, maybe refurbished, and then, this is key, how its materials stay in use. That's the goal of closed material loops and resource regeneration.
Okay, let's pause on that phrase. Closed material loops and resource regeneration. That sounds important. So fundamentally, it means designing things so the materials don't become waste. They just circle back.
That's the core concept, yes. Keeping those valuable resources circulating within the economy, not leaking out into landfills or incinerators. It's about designing out the very idea of waste and pollution from the beginning.
Mhm.
Keeping things useful, regenerating natural systems where possible. It's definitely the most integrated view described.
Right. So thinking about this whole journey for you, the listener, this shift from just tweaking materials to this full circular design vision.
Hmm.
It's not just academic, is it? The documents seem to stress it's pretty vital for the furniture industry's future, its resilience and responsibility.
Absolutely. Especially when you consider the complex sustainability challenges we're facing, it's presented as a necessary fundamental change in perspective,
Mhm.
how we make things, how we use them.
So, wrapping up our look at the source material you sent in, the story it tells is one of evolution in sustainable furniture design, with circular design as the most kind of advanced stage so far, focused on the whole life cycle.
It is. And maybe a final thought this leaves you with, if this circular design model aims for closed material loops and regenerating resources just for furniture, yeah, what would our world actually look like if everything, our clothes, our electronics, our buildings, was designed from the ground up with that same principle in mind? What shifts would that require?